Hey, what is going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Rayge, and we are back today with Marvel Strike Force's newest character here in NORTHSTAR, finally joined the game. He's also the newest member here of this Alpha Flight team that excludes the reworked characters in being both Sunfire and as well as Wolverine. So guys, having said that, in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at his kit. We're going to be opening some orbs actually for shards of him. And lastly, we are also going to be taking a chance here to get the 7 red stars here, just because there's a promoted impact here with the red star orbs. And we always want to take advantage with these promotional periods anyways, as those are pretty much guaranteed given where the red star economy is going. So NORTHSTAR zooming in to actually provide support for the team, but as well, what's going to be notable about him is that he's going to be blinding enemies with the supportive capabilities that he's bringing to the team. On top of that, when an enemy dies as well, he's also going to be applying speed up to himself. In raids, enemies can't actually fill up their speed bar, so he's going to be a very, very important character to make sure that this team operates effectively, especially with them being a dual trait in terms of the, a dual mode in the game where they have value in both the raids as well as actually war. So they're going to be very, very impactful for sure. Having said that, this is actually the first team we've seen having these dual raid and war defense bonuses, so it's going to be interesting to see how they kind of shake things up. But I think what's really unique about this mechanic with NORTHSTAR anyways is that it's gonna throw a wrench in people's plans in terms of how you're going to be taking them down, especially that manipulation with turn meter and preventing enemies from doing so. So let's get this party started, guys. First and foremost, let's go ahead here. So in case you guys haven't caught my earlier videos on what I'm planning to do with my power cores now, I've been generating so much from doing well in my top arena ranking is that I've been building up this supply of power cores, and I'm really not doing too much with it. So my new game plan going forward now is that with these character releases, we're going to be spending some to at least get a few shards of these characters. It makes it easier if you guys have a reserve such as myself, where going forward these character unlocks, it's going to be even easier, and it's going to give me a chance actually to have a higher shot here of the yellow stars in case we see more of these kind of star gated events. And again, guys, I just posted a video actually on my arena, so in case you need some assistance there, the arena meta is constantly changing, so definitely want to be mindful of that. But let's go ahead here. I think usually what I was aiming for was about 30 to 40 shards of the characters, so we'll see how we do. Sometimes the RNG could also land in our favor, but because we have 25,000 right now, I think a good clean number. We'll use about 5,000 power cores and see how we do. Hopefully we can get some good drops, because ideally that's gonna really be great for us to get a head start on these character shards. So 12 right there. And he is a 100 shard unlock, guys, so heads up, it is going to cost a little more if you are planning to obviously open power cores such as myself. So that's a good start though. We also know that with him getting the preview here, that his event is going to be coming actually near the middle of the month, just with their avatar and so forth. And just something to be mindful of in case you guys are wondering when his event is. Obviously with these character introductions, they're always earlier, right? And then obviously there's going to be some more free claims, hopefully some more shards around as well. So actually we got quite a bit of blues opening. I think about 5 or 6 orbs now. We actually have 52 shards, so that's pretty good. This is gonna be my last one. Again, it's meant to get a head start, but I want to use this kind of new strategy in terms of budgeting a different way to add some more shards, and it's pretty notable. Look at that, like 58 out of 100 shards. Now we're going to be in a very, very good position to actually unlock him when his event comes. So great to see. And then maybe one of these videos I'll actually get a big drop as well. So that's obviously going to be a nice little value add. But as per usual, we do see his avatar here now too, and we're going to be going for the 7 reds because this is guaranteed for us. So let's just double check. In case you guys are wondering, you can always see the percentage at the very bottom here. And I actually don't see his avatar here located, so this might actually, oh sorry, apologies there, that's the very bottom of the 15%. I must have just missed it when I was scrolling, and so it is live. So we'll go ahead here, and the reason, guys, I know you can save some of these credits and convert it obviously, but for me, I just want to easily get the 7 red and move on, because most of my characters are already 7. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I cut out some footage, guys, because I didn't want to waste your time here. It took me about a minute and 30 seconds of just going through dupes. So we finally got it there. Okay. Yeah, as for NORTHSTAR, like I said, he's going to be a very, very important piece of this Alpha Flight team. I'm super excited for their introduction into the game because they're going to really shake things up. He is a Hero Global Mutant Controller, and again, part of that new Spotlight Raids team, as well as having value in war. So Bright Barrage is his basic ability. So you can see here, attacking primary target for damage, as well as he's going to be gaining damage per charge that you actually have on him. And if this character does have one or more charges, he's also going to be applying offense down. I like how this is applying on a basic ability. If he has 10 or more charges, boom, trauma is also going to get added on here. So this is already right away a very strong basic ability that can actually land a trauma. For that reason, I do feel like this is going to be a strong ability to actually T4. Let's take a look at the rest of his special and ultimate as well as passive to see what we want to prioritize, but this is definitely a strong basic consideration for upgrade here. Shining Strike. So attacking primary target for damage. If charged, he's also going to be rechaining for additional damage to a number of adjacent targets equal to the number of charges. Once again, maximum of 10. Counter attack also breaks this chain, so it's something to be mindful of there. Leveling this ability up, he's also going to be gaining a blind mechanic. In raids, however, he actually gets additional chance to apply blind on a secondary attack. On top of that, the +1 blind up to maximum 3 times specifically applies to raids. Otherwise, it's that 50% chance. And then finally, if you were to T4 on this, the blind does last for 2 full turns. But again, that 50% chance still only lasts even with the full upgrades here. You want the blind for 2 turns. This upgrade makes complete sense just because of the fact that you're going to be getting optimal value with him providing that supportive blind, and especially for 2 turns, that's pretty big, especially on the primary and that chance for the adjacent chain strikes. So ultimate ability, Hyper Light Twister. He's going to be clearing revive on all enemies. Pretty notable, attacking all enemies for some significant damage. And again, chaining, stacking based on more charges on his attack, right? On war defense, he's also going to be clearing charges on enemies. And this attack is unavoidable. So that's great to see. He's going to be flipping positives. Slow disruptions is also going to be applied. And then finally, T4ing this ability, he's going to be prolonging the duration of all negative effects. This does exclude stuns, trauma, and ability block, but you know, extending debuffs is a really big component of the game, especially when you want to make sure that any kind of debuffs are sticking longer and obviously creating that advantage in battle. This is a very strong upgrade here for the ultimate ability, especially if you want to make sure that you're gaining that advantage. Finally, True North passive ability. So on this, he's going to be gaining evasion for himself and as well as Alpha Flight team members. Again, clearing all charges from this character when he does spawn. So something to be mindful of there. On enemy death, he's going to be applying speed up to himself and all Alpha Flight allies. So obviously you want to be making sure that you're stacking on top of that. On top of that, whenever any character or Alpha Flight ally does get attacked, he's gaining charges. So even though on spawn he's clearing, you know, at the end of the day, he's going to be gaining charges as a really quick mechanic, especially when they are getting attacked. And finally, what he's going to be getting out of raids and war defense is that on the enemy def, apply slow is also going to get applied. He doesn't have exhaust. He's going to also have additional focus. So he won't be needing that so as long as he's not exhausted. Otherwise, gaining additional focus and resistance for himself and Alpha Flight allies. In raid specifically, when he doesn't have exhaust anyways, this character in Alpha Flight cannot gain slow. Pretty notable there, just to make sure that they can't be impacted. And as well, as we read earlier, right, he's going to be gaining additional speed for himself and Alpha Flight allies on those 2 given game modes. And more notably, they can't have their speed bar reduced, which is pretty huge, especially when you're messing around with any kind of enemies that do have turn meter manipulation. And then finally, on spawn, if you were to T4 this ability upgrade, there's going to be additional evasion being applied. And as well, enemies cannot gain charges. This is a really, really big one, especially in raids and war. I feel like it's going to be a big difference maker. So, guys, honestly, each and every one of these abilities are pretty sweet in terms of upgrading. I mean, I really feel like the basic ability is a luxury, but obviously the special, ultimate, and the passive make the most sense for upgrades. And because he is actually landing a lot of debuffs on the team in terms of that and providing that support, I mean, you can do a couple of things with him. I think if the team needs more vulnerables, you can definitely ensure that he has a skirmisher, so that way he does consistently land his blinds. That's probably what I'm going to be going through. If you feel like you need more damage, a raider can also increase that as well. But the really cool thing about this is that if there is already enough additional vulnerables being passed around, even having him as a striker so that way he can actually consistently utilize his trauma mechanic. I think that's really cool. So personally, I'm going to be going with the skirmisher, guys, just because of the fact that he's going to be landing the blinds more consistently, especially with how he's flipping, especially with his ultimate and being able to clear and apply slow and disruption. That's the route I'm going to be going for. So good luck in your guys' orbs if you open any of the power cores. Good luck in the Red Star orbs as per usual. Super excited when this character comes into the game. Thank you for your time as always, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.